seems like the past couple of days you've made a lot more plays or just been more consistent out there. Is that what you felt, and how's this gone? How do you feel like you've improved day to day so far?
I just feel like I'm just working, just trying to be better than what I was yesterday and the day before. It's not really up to me to be like if I've made improvements or been making plays, and I'm just trying to do my job and bring my best foot forward for the team and just do that every single play. So if I am making plays, then big hats to me, but I'm just working, trying to get better than I was yesterday.
What is it about? You've always, talked about the footwork and it being important, but it hasn't always been consistent. Do you feel like it's been more consistent now, and what kind of work did you put in to ensure that?
I feel like I have been, slightly more consistent when it comes to my footwork, but it's just me thinking about my reps that I've been doing, during the off season, and just thinking about mental cues for myself. Just thinking about my base and my base helping me deliver the ball and get the ball to the guys, and that's really what I've been focused on. Making sure I'm moving smooth in the pocket so I can get the playmakers the ball. So that's all I'm trying to do.
Are you seeing that help your accuracy? You seeing the direct impact there?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I got more control over the ball. I feel like I'm getting the ball to them, but that's my job as a quarterback. Deliver the ball and make it so guys can go out there and make plays. So I'm just trying.
A couple of times, Jones is running the team. He completes a nice pass to Mitchell or whatever. You're running down the field to high-five him. Is that just the encouragement that you try to give to everybody?
Man, I feel like just as a team, we gotta hype each other up. The defense, they hype each other up all the time when they're making plays. So it's just something that Q told us about the other day in the meeting. We just gotta bring the energy. So I feel like I'm just trying to do my part, and I'm just excited for guys to make plays because I know that's gonna translate to the game, and I know if it happens in the game, I'm gonna do the same exact thing. So I'm not thinking no other differently than that.
Do you feel more comfortable out there just as a leader? It just feels like you're growing in that area.
I can say yeah, but there's also room for improvement when it comes to that. I feel like I can be more of a leader sometimes. I can talk more. I can be verbal a little bit more. I can just communicate with the guys more and just see where their head is and see what they need me to improve on. I was talking to the O-line afterwards today. They told me sometimes my cadence is a little low, so you got to take it with a grain of salt. It's never personal. Anything that's going to help the team, you got to be able to take that and just apply it to your game. So just communicating with the guys and being more verbal, I feel like I can do that, but I think I'll take a step in leadership.
What is it about pads when you put pads on that maybe changes your game a little bit? Do you feel any different about how you go about playing football?
No, not really. I feel like it's the same, but when pads come on, it's more like football instead of touch football. When we're playing 7-on-7 and guys can just tag off, I feel like it forces the defense to come out here and work on their fundamentals and square up when it comes to making tackles, and also in the run game helps guys be a little bit more physical, open up the plays for us. So I feel like football is football, and when the pads come on, it's just more fun, I guess.
Anthony, what does it mean to have Bernie locked in now here for a while?
Man, that's a blessing. Hell of a player. I didn't even know that happened. I was in the training room and I just hear everybody like celebrating and congratulating. I'm like, what happened? And then they were telling me that he got the extension. So it just shows that his hard work is paying off. He's a hell of a player in this league, and I'm proud and I'm glad that he's still on our team.
And mentally, do you approach this as you are a starting quarterback? Has that been kind of your mental mindset entering this?
I feel like every day got to be like that. I just got to work as if I am going to be the day one starter. Regardless of what decision they make, I'm still working, trying to improve, and they're going to make the best decision for the team, and that's ultimately what we need. This team wants to win the Super Bowl. It's not about me, it's about the team. So I'm just working as if I am the starter, and if I do get the job, go to God.
Anthony, with 6 sessions under your belt, how do you feel like the competition with Daniel has helped you improve in this early training camp?
I just feel like it helps both of us, limit the mistakes that we make because we know what's on the line. It just helps us be able to make plays and just showcase what we can do as quarterbacks for this team. And I feel like it's brought the level of the competition up for the team because they know there's a QB battle going on right now, and everybody else is like, okay, they got to compete too. So I think it just helps the whole team, and we're just excited that we had the opportunity to come out here and compete.
Is there anything you change from a mental preparation standpoint? Not mental reps, but just getting ready for practice, games, whatever.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Is there anything that you've changed from a mental preparation standpoint that you feel like, okay, maybe I wasn't pulling my weight or I wasn't where I needed to be last year? Like anything you've grown in that area?
Not necessarily. Honestly, I just feel like the things I was doing, last year and the year before, I feel like there was more. All the greats, they always do more. They do more than what other people are expecting them to do. And after last season, I feel like I needed to do more. Not only for the team but for myself. If I want to so-called be great and I want to be in the Hall of Fame one day, I have to do more. I have to go do things that other people won't do. So I've just been doing that. Just taking it day by day, not necessarily trying to change anything mentally or anything like that, but just taking a deeper dive and studying my playbook a little longer, asking more questions, going through my footwork, walking through the plays by myself, just stuff like that, just trying to do more.
You mentioned the O-line came to you about your cadence. How much do you welcome? Like, that just seems like kind of a minute thing, but would make a big difference, like Paul starts saying. How much do you welcome those like little details, and how quickly do you get to work on correcting?
Man, anything that's going to help the team, I feel like we need that. And for them to be able to feel comfortable to communicate that with me, it lets me know that they trust me enough to, come talk to me and let me know that I'm slacking on something like that. And, I appreciate those guys for letting me know, because when it comes to Cadence, and like if they were false starting, I'm going to go talk to them and say, guys, we can't be doing that. So for them to be able to come and communicate that with me, it feels good, and I just got to do my part and just help them out. So when they are making their calls, my cadence is a little better for them.
When it comes to those shorter and intermediate throws that you've been working on, is there sort of a rhythm aspect to it where you just, when you get a couple of those completions, you feel either more comfortable or more confident? Is like one kind of build the next one?
No, not really. I can't let the completion or the incompletion, change how I feel about, what I'm doing. It all just comes down to my fundamentals and my technique. If I'm working on my technique and if I miss the pass, it's like, okay, I got to go back to the next one and make sure my technique is better on that next one. If I complete it, then okay, good. I got to keep building on that. So I don't necessarily look at the completions or the incompletions. I just think about what I'm doing for myself and what I'm doing to deliver the ball.
You talked about dealing with pressure throughout your career, whether on or off the field, but how has that relationship with pressure maybe evolved over time? Like, how do you do it now versus when you were first coming in? And do you feel any more of it knowing that you're going into your third year and it isn't as solidified as perhaps you wanted it to be?
A lot of things in life, we always want, certain things, but, God always has something, different in us. He has a different vision for us. So I don't feel like there's any more added pressure. I've been dealing with adversity my whole life. Growing up, things weren't the best, and my mom, she did her best to, make it, great for us. So I just think back to that, and I remember what it was like back in those times. And my life is way better than what it was before, and I'm grateful for that. Not many people get an opportunity to be in the NFL, and God blessed me enough to have the chance to do that. This organization believed in me enough to draft me first round, top 5 pick. So I don't think there's any more pressure. It's just me working hard and proving them right and letting them know that they chose the right guy, and just proving myself right and just letting me know that my hard work will eventually pay off. And at the end of the day, God has it all written for me, and I'm just trying to do my part. So God's willing, if I do get this job, I can have my best foot forward and lead the team and just be the leader that they need me to be.